Welcome back to Reinvent or Die, the podcast that doesn't just talk about success. I dissect it, break it down, and rebuild it in a way that actually works. Listen, today we're going to confront a hard truth. I mean a hard truth that might just shake you to your core, and that is motivation. It is not enough. Period. Full stop. It's not enough. And if you think that staying fired up is all it takes to succeed every single day, then get ready for a wake-up call, because it is absolutely time to get real. So here's the deal. You know, motivation is I guess we'll call it a fickle friend, right? I mean, it feels great when you're riding that high, but let's be honest with each other. It doesn't stick around. I mean, it is based on emotions, and unless you are a robot, those emotions are going to fluctuate. You know, one day you're on top of the world, and the next, where are you? I mean, you are questioning why you even bothered to start in the first place. I mean, that's reality. In motivation, we know motivation will betray you because it's not designed to last. But discipline, that's a completely different story. Discipline is the rock that keeps you anchored when motivation absolutely abandons you. Think about it. How many times have you started something with all the motivation in the world, only to see it fizzle out when things got really tough? I mean, we know motivation might get you to the starting line, but it is discipline that gets you across the finish line. Because here's the truth, and I think it's the truth that no one really wants to admit. You can't rely on motivation alone if you want to be successful. I mean, if that's all you got, then you're setting yourself up for failure. Because here's the truth that no one rarely wants to admit, and that is you can't rely on motivation alone if you want to be successful. I mean, if that's all you've got, I mean, you are setting yourself up for failure, because there isn't a day that goes by that all of us have those moments where there's that thing you have to do, that action you need to take, that thing you've got to go do, and suddenly we're too tired, we're not in the mood. Well, we'll wait until tomorrow. There's so many excuses. There's an endless number of excuses, but it is discipline that's going to carry you through. Let's get one thing straight. Discipline, it's not sexy. It isn't flashy. It doesn't come with the adrenaline rush that motivation truly gives you, but it is the single most important factor in whether you succeed or fail. I believe it with every ounce of my soul. I've experienced it, and it's just the truth. You know, discipline is what makes you get up at 5 a.m. or whatever time is right for you when your body is screaming for what? More sleep. I don't want to get up. It makes you push through the grind when everyone else is quitting. Discipline is what? It's the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. You know, you can look at those at the highest levels of success, whether it's in the arts, the sciences, athletics, any piece of this world. You look at those on top, and truly, A, it didn't happen overnight, but B, it truly is going to be discipline. It's discipline that kept them going for years to put themselves in a position to win and be successful at the highest levels. Look at someone like David Goggins, and many of you may not know him. He's a former Navy SEAL. He's got a massive presence out there in the kind of winning personal development space, and he's an interesting guy. But I tell you, he's not motivated every day to run these ultra marathons to push his body beyond his limits. But what he shares is he does it anyway. And why is that? It's because discipline is ingrained in him. You know, he doesn't rely on the fleeting feeling of motivation. What he does rely on is the unbreakable will to do what needs to be done. regardless of how he feels. I mean, that's what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary in each of us. You, me, everyone. We have that choice. We have that opportunity every single day to choose discipline, to push forward and do the right thing. So here's the reality check. You can be wildly talented, but without true, hardcore, everyday, front and center discipline, you're just going to be another wasted potential. I believe it. Because discipline allows you to keep going when that excitement fades, when the passion dims, and when motivation is absolutely nowhere to be found. You know, it gives you the power to see the bigger picture, to focus on the process and not just the outcome. It makes you insanely consistent, and that consistency, I believe, I've seen, I've felt, I've experienced, it is that consistency is what leads to your individual greatness. So how do you develop this killer discipline? How do you make sure you're not another person who burns out as soon as the going gets tough? Well, I think here's how. The first is you have to embrace the grind and understand that discipline means embracing, the daily grind every single day. It's not about loving every minute of what you do. Absolutely not. Nobody does. Instead, it is about doing it because you're committed to the bigger picture. And discipline isn't about the adrenaline rush. It's about the relentless push forward, even when motivation is dead, it's nowhere to be found, you simply don't have any of it. Second is, you got to focus on process over outcome. And stop simply obsessing over the end goal, because discipline is about falling in love with the process, which is what? It's the day-to-day. It's that day-to-day work that gets you there being where you want to go. That's where the magic happens. And if you're only chasing the outcome, you're going to burn out. But if you commit, absolutely commit to process, you're going to build the endurance that you need to keep moving forward. And third thing is, you got to be relentlessly consistent, because success doesn't come from doing things occasionally. We know that. It comes from doing the right things consistently, day in, day out, week in, week out. That's where it comes from. And discipline is what makes you show up every single day, no matter what. This is how you overcome the lack of motivation and truly that which ensures long-term success. So here's the brutal truth. Motivation, as we said, is a fair-weathered friend. It's there when the sun is shining, but it bails. It will bail on you when that storm hits. And discipline, discipline is there through those storms, through those sleepless nights, through the pain. And it's not glamorous. There is no glamour about it. But it is the only thing that will keep you moving forward when motivation is dead and buried. So do not fool yourself. Listen to that. Do not fool yourself. Stop relying on motivation to carry you through. Develop that discipline that will see you through those dark days, the hard days, the days when you'd rather quit. That's how you go from average to absolutely unstoppable. So here's my challenge to you. The next time you feel that spark of motivation, a spark, don't just ride the wave, back it up with, ironclad discipline. Commit to the grind, commit to the process, and commit to showing up even when you don't feel like it. That's how you truly reinvent yourself. Reinvent who you are. Reinvent that person you see in the mirror. That's how you become unstoppable. So you've got this. You've got to look at yourself and go, listen, as challenged maybe as it is right now for you, and maybe it's been challenging for a long time, this new journey starts now. Do not wait. Don't wait another day. It starts with you making the decision to reinvent and start moving forward. Because, listen, you got to embrace we're either reinventing or we're going to die trying. So until the next time, keep pushing, stay strong, and never, ever forget that discipline is your greatest weapon. So if you're ready, let's go.